Yes, good boy. You can stop now.
So how's it looking?
Let's just say you're in for a surprise, shall we?
So does that mean like the wisdom tooth has to come out?
No, we can't make you less smart, right?
That's a bit mean.
Shut up. The surprise is you're gonna have to watch Sea Pirates.
No.
Be a scam and stuff.
No, not like this. Not with this. No. Okay, that's very dramatic, but you're about to need to get ready to dive into Sea Pirates, phones being shipped over. Someone ship me a phone, please. And just all round very confusions.
Also, why do you come to the dentist in pajamas?
Well, there's a simple answer for that. You gotta get comfy. So strap yourselves in. No adult toy.
On this episode of Scamfish, our team flies to Florida to track down a phone this woman sent to her online boyfriend.
He actually reached out to me. Brown eyes, dark brown eyes, bald head. Very handsome, gentleman.
Oh, hold on. Oh, the oil rig has made an appearance. Where is it? Is it going to be in the Sahara Desert?
This is great banter. It really is.
Eye on the shirt. I bet you she was thinking, I didn't see this coming. Yes, that's the level of humor on this channel.
It's funny because it's true.
But also Florida. It's always Florida, isn't it? With your crocodiles and stuff. Get a grip of yourselves, okay?
And works on an oil rig in Poland.
Poland?
And they were like, my screen is cracked. I can't see the information. I had sent the cell phone.
Rhonda? If any football fans are watching this, or soccer, when you do a ronda, you pass the ball like to each other in a circle and stuff. You are in a circle here, huh? With your little phone.
What did that just mean?
What are you doing? If he can't see information on his screen, how's he texting you? The mind boggles. The powers of humans. What happened to your screen? Did it fall into the shark-infested waters of the Polish Sea?
Sent a phone through this mysterious shipping company in Florida, so we head to the address ourselves to get to the bottom of it.
Oh,
This was registered with the website.
This is
sorry. This is fake. First of all, obviously the shirt. It's giving an evil competitor of Baskin Robbins. So shout out David, he's scooping ice cream. Anyway, dental crafters. When I'm recording this, having had tooth troubles, and still a little bit of a tang in there, I'll say. Is this funny or is this a joke? I'm powering through, but just know I don't take kindly to this, Mr. Evil Ice Cream Man.
Oh, my.
This is as sketchy as it gets.
Where are you going to be sending this blah blah blah? This story.
Why is someone that's working for your company agreeing to do these things? You guys own, is it Jahare Express?
Yes. I will do everything I can to help you out. We have to go to the police. I'm okay.
Join us. We'll have a friend in Nigeria help us out and possibly uncover an even bigger scam. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Do that.
Your engagement with our videos help us reach new audiences and can potentially stop other people from being scammed.
We already
All
are.
right, team, we got another case. I'll read the email. Hi, Catfish team. My name is Rhonda, and I believe I've been scammed out of nearly $2,000. It started with a cell phone I sent off that was returned to me and ended with a story of being surrounded by sea pirates.
Hold on there, because before this part came on the screen, I saw pirates in the next line. Arr! Me got to get the latest iPhone.
Good job, little buddy.
That's the best pirate you're gonna get out of me. I love the fact that this show has seen just everything, right? Turkish Taliban, right? You know the ones, the TT, but the bad versions. You got Turkish mafia, of course. They do their shenanigans in kebab shops. Not in Italian restaurants, because it's the Turkish version. And then, now, sea pirates, who I guess are intercepting iPhone shipments, as you do as a sea pirate. You know, you got your guns and stuff, and your swords. Do they still have swords nowadays? I mean, sea pirates exist, let's be honest. Somewhere out there are Donnies on a boat doing up sea piracy. But iPhones, I don't think they'll care. But maybe. What next? Dragons? I mean, I'd love to see it. If this ever turns into Game of Thrones-esque, I'll be there.
I video chatted with this person and think they may be real.
I thought she was going to say I video chatted with the sea pirate. I guess it makes sense why they intercepted the iPhone then.
But I'm not sure. I have several photos and would really appreciate your help figuring this all out.
Okay.
Hi, Catfish team. My name is Rhonda.
Hello.
And I am from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am 63 years old. Woo! I am an operations supervisor for a large healthcare company. Before that, I was a correctional officer for 20 years. You know, every day I had to think about making it home to my kids. I actually have been divorced now for at least 10 years. And I'm not ashamed to say I've been married 3 times. And I have 2 children by my first marriage and 1 by my second marriage.
After a couple of relationships that didn't pan out, Rhonda decided to give online dating a try.
I started the online dating, and it was the Facebook dating.
Oh, okay.
So I had a friend that was like, you should try, you know, this Facebook dating. And I met David McCain.
Okay. I mean, first of all, the fact that this seemingly is an age-appropriate relationship, good. Kudos. Well done. You're making this a little bit easier for me. However, I will say that if you're going to suggest to someone online dating, you know, educate them. Granted, maybe her friend didn't know about scams, etc. themselves, but I'd hope you do, I guess. If you're going to do it, let people know that there's red flags that they should be watching out for, because, you know, I think it's a foregone conclusion that not everybody knows the ins and outs of the bad side of dating online. So let people know. If you know, you know. Don't you dare look at me with those eyes, all right? You sultry little devil with your mug. Sipping that, David.
Naughty, naughty.
He actually reached out to me, and it came through my messenger.
Okay.
I want to say that was like around May of 2024.
With a wink.
You know, it was basically, hi, you know, how you doing? You know, introducing themselves.
That's hella strong, right? David, he looks like a strong man anyway, right? He could bench lift me about 7 million times, chuck me into the air, and I'm never coming down from the ozone. Tell you that much. However, he's coming on a bit strong there. I could maybe forgive the winking emoji in the beginning. He's a bit flirtatious. Oh my goodness, he wants to tickle my fancy right from the beginning. But then, hello my queen, you run away. Because I don't know many people who genuinely use queen as a form of introduction. But go off, David. I don't know your dating ways.
And I came across your picture, and, you know, I wanted to get to know you a little bit better. There was a lot of exchange of pictures. I mean, the person sent me just a ton of pictures. And I'm not going to lie, you know, I actually like the person on the picture. He's extremely fair-skinned. He is African-American and Polish. Brown eyes, dark brown eyes, bald head.
I love the fact that the bald head is emphasized, because I can't see, all right? I can see because you've got one eye on your shirt. I've got 4 of them, mate. I can see he's bald. But I will say, let me remember what I need to say.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I might be reading too much into this, and it's not as serious as probably I'm going to make it out to be. But let's be honest, if you're not new to this channel, I like to throw my 2 pence about little things just because I have no life. When she said I'm not going to lie, I did obviously find him attractive in the pictures. I like the guy in the pictures. By saying I'm not going to lie, I guess it kind of implies that there's sort of a stigma there, that you're not allowed to like the person based on attraction, based on their pictures, which I think is totally wrong. Of course, you should like someone right from the get-go, from their appearance. I mean, that is a thing. And then obviously, you get to know them personality-wise, see if you mesh. I don't know if she maybe thinks people will call her out for that. Oh, you like the guy in the pictures. Boo! You should be in relationships with people you don't find attractive. So, don't feel bad about admitting that you actually like someone's appearance. That's a good thing. If you're in a relationship with someone you don't like their appearance, I'm sorry, I just don't think that relationship will work long term. But let me know in the comments. Huh.
He's very tall. He's about maybe 6'3", 6'4".
Like me.
Very healthily built sized person. And very handsome,
Healthily
gentleman.
built.
Very, well dressed. They have a lot of pictures of where it looks like this person was doing really well for themselves at one time. They claim to live in Texas and works on an oil rig in Poland, but they go out on the rig. And this person says it's his business in his contract. We definitely speak a couple of times a week, talk about, wanting to have something stronger in a relationship together. I mean, he definitely strikes me as somebody who cares about me, as far as they definitely have said that they love me like several times, that they definitely want this to be a relationship between them and myself.
How far are we
Things
into
were going
this?
perfect between Rhonda and David, and they already had plans for the future together. Before they moved any further, Rhonda wanted to make sure David was real and not using AI.
Of
So
course.
she put him to the test.
So one morning, not too long ago, my phone rang and I was getting out of the shower. We were talking and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just got out of the shower because I'm getting ready for work." He goes, "Oh, you just got out of the shower."
I felt it in my soul. Yes, from the previous video, my soul has returned. It's no longer consumed by rage. I knew he was going to say something like this. If he dares say next, "Without me?" Yes, because I was going to say it's overrated, but I've never tried shower intimacy. And how can I? Because I don't have any. But if he says that next, I'm watching you, David.
I said, "Yeah." And I put the phone down and I flashed him like that. And the look on the person's face, I mean, he smiled from one ear.
Hold on. You say from one ear, but I can only see one ear here. The left ear is, not really there.
Hey, shut your mouth.
I just wanted to say, look at the picture. I know maybe it's not AI imaged, but I feel like that's a touched up image. Where's all the textures of his skin gone? It's a bloody smooth as a rock right now.
To the other, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that, but you're beautiful." Because I was like, the only way I'm going to see if this is not AI is if I catch...
Hold on. For example, I don't know what's going on here, but this image here is, I guess, the real image. I mean, his skin is great if this is the real image, to be fair. It's not as smooth looking and shiny as the previous one. But then you move forward here where he's a bit smiling. This has been AI'd, surely.
Allegedly.
Because he's now smiling in a picture that he was not smiling in. I'm really confused on what's going on here. And I've been noticing AI seeming images quite frequently.
Allegedly.
I'm not sure what's going on. The revolution is amongst us. AI, I've never spoken bad about you, okay? Don't end me off, please. I like life as much as it spanks me on the booty. I like it. So leave me alone, please.
If I catch this person off guard, but I got the reaction that I needed to see, to see whether I was actually talking to an actual person.
I mean, sure, maybe, but I assume you can video call on audio call only on Skype. Were you on video call? Did you actually see this guy? All that stuff. Or you just heard someone be shocked. I feel like she's on the right track here, of course. She wants to find out it's real without AI and stuff. But I feel like she's still missing out key things here. But nevertheless, she seems like a good woman, to be honest. She seems nice, bubbly, right?
Although Rhonda was no longer suspicious of David's identity, that didn't stop the red flags from popping up.
What they were saying was they had to come across from the area of Poland back to the United States.
The area
and,
of Poland.
Because there's a lot of bad people out here on the seas. And we've already been contacted by sea pirates.
As you do.
He had started asking me for money for things like internet service because he was on a rig. I sent them $2,000.
I mean, if you're paying $2,000 for internet and you don't get minimum, you click on something and it doesn't load before you even blink, you've paid for nothing. All right, the caviar of internet, is it? Get it? You're drinking your thing again, right? You drink that sea of delusion water where the sea pirates live. Because you're ridiculous. You can't pay for internet. How you been messaging this whole time? What about previous payments? Did the money just run out? Where are your workers? Why can't they chip in? Why must it be Rhonda? Get a grip of yourself.
In increments of like 50 here, 100 here. And they were like, my screen is cracked. I can't see the information, and so I need an iPhone. I said, like an iPhone 12, a 9, or no, it
the
has
latest
to be
one?
a 15 because that's what will hold all of the data that I need to transfer.
Obviously, I would hope everyone realizes that's not how it works. But, devil's advocate, the scammer didn't ask for a 16 Pro Max at least. So, kudos for having some morals, I guess. But everyone, please understand that more time, right? In most situations, I would assume anyway, that when you're speaking romantically to someone, it's very unlikely that they're going to ask you for any sort of money or any sort of other incentives. Because I feel like people, especially in budding new romances, are trying to put their best foot forward. They're trying to make it seem, not in a bad way, but they're trying to make it seem like they are stable, right? They don't need you for anything. They want to be with you just for you. They're not going to ask you for X, Y, Z to make themselves seem better, but in a positive way, right? So, like me, for example, I'm not going to ask a woman, hey, buy me a phone, please. Give me money for X, Y, Z. Even if I am going through struggles, I'm not going to do it because I'm not giving a good impression here, right? But, to each their own, right? If you really have the balls to ask a new potential lover for things, you do you, I guess. But I personally wouldn't. Let me know in the comments, would you? Maybe it's a rhetorical question, but comment anyway, please. The algorithm needs it. Algorithm talk, eh? But yeah, be aware of that. I don't know many people who would make themselves seem like desperate or destitute in a budding relationship before you've even met. But obviously when you get married and stuff, that's a different story. But as of now, it's a red flag. All of that to say it's a red flag. I was going to slap myself like I usually do, but I can't do that. So I'll do that.
They were like, I'll make sure that I make the monthly payments, and I'll make sure that I, give you your money back.
Are you dumb? You'll pay off the phone yourself. So why don't you just buy the phone then? You get what I'm trying to say?
Back. I just was very hesitant
Good.
about sending anything having to do with like a phone account number, anything that you would be able to link into to be
Rhonda.
able to get my actual information outside of my name.
I mean, I get that. The info side of things, kudos. But you don't have to pay. I'll pay for everything right now. You don't owe this guy anything, Rhonda. Maybe there's an inkling of you, in you, that thinks he's showing you love. Maybe it's been a considerable amount of time since your divorce. I think so anyway. So you feel like maybe you owe him this because he's shown you quote-unquote affection through words. But don't feel like you have to owe anyone anything. I mean, that's not love, right? If you're doing things because you feel like you owe someone, then obviously, are you doing it for the right reasons? But especially in scenarios like this, especially you have concerns, personal information, again, kudos, you don't want to give anything out like that. But even materialistic things, if you already have concerns, just be wary.
While Rhonda did take some steps to try and protect her personal information, she had already paid and sent a phone over to the address that David gave her.
Life.
This was located in Florida. Rhonda had began to have doubts about the validity of what David was saying.
Once I sent the iPhone, I started feeling a little weird, right? I know that sea pirates can be real, but nothing was adding up. So when I sent the phone, it went to a place in Florida. It was like a UPS store. And I immediately called and told them what I had did and told them that I thought somebody was running a scam. And so my phone came back to me.
As always, I love this image of the colonoscopy doctor delivering a package. Strap them gloves on, baby. It's about to get real messy up in this biatch. I want to ask a question. Are the sea pirates not letting them leave the oil rig? Is that what I'm supposed to believe here? Because you should be calling the authorities and not Rhonda, okay? If your emergency contact, I guess, is someone across the world who can only help you by sending you iPhones or something just so that you can stay hauled up in your oil rig, surely you've got bigger issues here than paying the Wi-Fi bill, for example. Somebody call the damn authorities to deal with the sea pirates. Just saying.
It came back to me in the exact same box that I sent it in. The box was, taped up. And once I got my phone back, now I'm trying to bait the person. I said, did you get the phone? Yes, baby, thank you. I said, and you have this right now? And they were like, yes. And I was saying to myself, no, you don't, because I have it right here in my hand.
At this point, Rhonda just wants to know if she's truly talking to the man in these images, or if it's just another scammer.
It's a little embarrassing that I actually got myself caught up in this particular type of situation, but now it's taken a different turn. And so now for me, it's, I really want to see what the real name of this person is. I do care for the person, I do, but that's based upon whether you are the actual person that I'm talking to.
After reviewing Rhonda's case, the team got together to come up with a game plan.
Sea pirates? Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, eye patched sea pirates? We cue the Johnny Depp music right now.
Is that Johnny Depp music?
That's the first time I've heard of sea pirates. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I mean, sounds like there's plenty to research here. We have photos, financial transactions, and then easily an IP tracker, definitely.
You read my mind. Let's get to work.
Oh my god.
All right.
Fist bump
Wow,
it again.
IP tracker. Never.
There was a lot to look into
Never done
regarding
that
this
before.
case, particularly the shipping company that Rhonda sent the phone to located in Florida, Jahari Express. So Brienne brought David in to share what she had found out so far.
All right, so this is nice for me because I'm walking in and you've done all the work. So what am I walking into and what do we got to do?
So spoke to Rhonda and she sent us a bunch of research. And one of the things that she shared was this Jahari Express shipping company.
That's the company she sent the phone to that sent the phone back?
The person she was talking to requested that she send the phone through Jahari Express. This is a shipping company that ships directly from the US to Nigeria.
Right.
Gotcha.
So I pulled a Whois, which tells me who owns this website, and it looks like it is under a person by the name of Adekunle. And I was able to confirm that with the business registry through Florida State itself. So as you can see, it's still active. It was recently updated on March 1st of this year. So that was only a few months ago.
My question here is, if she was using this website or service, I guess, wouldn't she ask questions about why it's being shipped to Nigeria? Unless I'm mistaken here, and she didn't use this service, because UPS was mentioned. So it's all in my brain a bit confuddling right now. It's not a word, but I've made it now. Because, well, I'm in pain, all right? So I'm allowed to be confused.
Oh.
And we have the mailing address. This was the address that was given to Rhonda to send the phone to. And it was a UPS store, a specific box.
That's weird, right? Like, if you're a shipping company, wouldn't you have like a warehouse or something that you ship
so
to,
she
not
did
like
use
a
the
small
service.
little like PO box?
Yeah, that's correct. And then confirming that address and then also comparing it to the addresses listed under the business registry, I see 2 other additional addresses.
Is that like a house? What is that? Or like an office?
It is a house.
A house?
It's a house.
So we can go visit them.
We can.
Well, the dental
There's
place was a
multiple
house.
addresses. When we Google search this website, we see an address here where it's
Oh, that's the
located.
Google address.
Yeah, that's the Google
Google it.
address. So when I plug in this address, it looks like it's just an empty lot.
Okay, this is weird. What about the other addresses that were on there? Are they nearby where we could visit them too?
This one's a little bit further. This one's gonna be about an hour, hour and a half away from this other location.
And that's the house, right?
But this is the house. I really feel like we should check this out.
So that might be where he's living. Oh, done deal.
We should go.
Okay, and then hopefully what you're saying is the wife and then the husband are there that own Jahari Express. Then we can figure out why they're accepting phones, what they're doing with them when they get there, and why they were pushing so hard to get the phone to Nigeria.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right.
Brienne and David hopped on a flight from California to Florida on a hunt to track down the people behind the shipping company. We had 2 leads, the address to Jahari Express and the home address of the owners listed under the business.
Hey.
Before alerting the owners, we decided to start with the business address.
The best business ever. Dental crafters. What a place to
interesting.
This is as sketchy as it gets.
I know.
be. No,
This was registered with the website.
maybe there's a business in there.
And there, you know what? I noticed that there was another car parked here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not ours.
I mean, that doesn't really mean much.
Stick around until the end. We'll sit down with Rhonda to reveal what happened while we were in Florida
Hello? Somebody's here.
See?
Fucking AC's on.
and what we were able to uncover about Jahari Express.
But I mean, you must have packaged like tons and tons of packages and sent it there, right? So you don't remember the name of the cell phone business?
That was his.
But you packaged it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I packaged it, but he labeled everything.
If you like this
What does that
video,
mean?
please consider subscribing. And once you've done that, give this video a like too.
Can you do that to this video as well, please? Thank you. I love you so much. You know, she basically said, I'm involved, but like, not as much as you think. You're still in the process, baby. I'm not saying you are involved somehow in the scam that's being cooked up here. But just, what you're saying doesn't really help your situation because it's a bit shifty. Allegedly, of course, though.
Have you been communicating with someone online?
No.
But something just doesn't feel right? You're not alone.
Oh my God.
And we're here to help.
Really?
Our expert search specialist can investigate your case and help you uncover the truth.
Okay.
And don't worry, this is completely private and confidential and is separate from our YouTube channel. Submitting your case does not mean it will be featured on our YouTube. If you need answers, click the link in this episode's description to submit your case now. We're here to help you get the clarity you deserve.
You deserve.
A lot transpired while the team was in Florida. After David and Brienne got back from their trip, we set up a call with Rhonda to go over what we were able to uncover.
Rhonda, how are you?
Hello, Rhonda.
I am wonderful.
Rhonda, we have a lot to go over with you.
Okay.
First of all,
Lot.
did you know we went traveling for you?
No.
All right.
Well,
so
how
I
would
think
she
we
know
have a
if you
few
didn't
things
tell
to
her?
go over with you then.
I think it might be best if we start with Jahari Express.
Okay.
I love those glasses.
Okay.
That took some turns, right? So we looked into the website. It's a valid website. It's still active. So then we looked into the owner of this website, and it's an actual business, and there's a name behind it. And the person that owns it is a person by the name of Adekunle.
That's the name I saw. Yep.
So we were able to validate that. When we looked at the address listed under the business registry, it was a UPS store. And then we looked into it a little bit further and we found another address. It was a vacant lot. Ready?
Oh, show them getting out the car again.
This is interesting.
We went and we're like, why is there this vacant lot that's like connected to this Jahari Express, especially when it's a shipping company, right? Where, I would assume a shipping company would have a warehouse and they ship stuff out of, or maybe an office.
So the only building nearby was a white dental office.
Maybe it's
and
all
we
here.
decided to knock on its door, hoping to find the courier company or...
Listen, I'm not trying to be like fuddy-duddy in terms of if you run a dentist, you need to be looking at least professional-ish, right? But if I'm rocking up to a dentist, the sign outside says Dental Crafters, it looks like it's falling apart, the building looks like it's come straight from the set of The Last of Us, I'm sorry, I might just have to go somewhere else. Maybe I'll just survive on my own, okay? But let me know in the comments. You rock up to a dentist, hypothetically, and it looks like this. It looks like something straight out of The Walking Dead. What are you doing? Because I'm taking my chances, can't lie.
or someone that may be located there that might know something about Jahari Express.
But there's no AC on, and it's hot as out here.
What does that mean? Like devil's advocate. Maybe just the people inside don't feel heat. Like maybe that's plausible, no? I don't know, man. I'm waffling.
There is AC on. Somebody's here. Somebody's here. The fucking AC's on.
Okay, let's go knock on the door. There was a third door you didn't knock on.
This is what was supposed to
Jahari
be.
Express.
So many doors.
It's a bee.
Don't do that.
Sorry,
We're
it came. I don't
we're going
like
to somebody's door, and she goes, huh?
I don't like bugs. It's a big one.
Can you not do that?
No, I forget. I don't know.
You don't know if we're going to some dangerous or whatever,
I
and then
know,
you're just doing that.
I know. I just don't like bugs.
Hello? So, this AC is attached to this. That AC is attached to that. It must be this middle door. Because that's the AC that's on, right?
It's a very interesting location.
All right, We got to jam to the next spot. So
I didn't
Brianne.
expect anyone
Do
to
you want to
open
tell her
the
about
door.
the other address listed?
Yeah, so we found another address and we went to that and it was a house.
Okay.
Atakumye, right?
Yeah. Do you want me to ask? I'll ask. I'll start it off and then you swoop in.
Oh, 0, right here.
You swoop in, okay? Follow my lead.
I like the vibe of this place. Like a village, kind of. Everyone together and stuff. The red door equals red flag.
Hi. When we knocked on the door, a woman answered it and she greeted us. Is this, are you Marilee?
Yes.
We're actually looking for Adekunle.
Oh, Kunle.
Yes.
He is not in state. He's actually on a plane. He'll be
shoot.
back in state tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, the reason why I have some questions is because you guys own, is it Jahare Express?
Yes.
Jahare Express. And then, so this is, so you pronounced it Kunle?
Yeah, well, he goes by Kunle.
Ah, got you. Okay. And then he's your husband?
Ex-husband.
Oh, ex-husband.
We were divorced in
Oh.
2021.
I mean, his ex-wife answered the door. She said, sure, you can film. And David was able to ask her a bunch of questions. She was an open book.
Are you okay if I record by any chance? Okay.
By the way, my name's Brianne.
Yeah. We own a
This is
company
David.
called socialcatfish.com. We are independent journalists. And so we have a YouTube channel that we investigate like fraud and scams.
We're actually helping a client of ours. Her name is Rhonda. And so she was asked to send, she's talking to this person online, she was asked to send a cell phone here to Jahare Express.
In Tampa?
Yes. And it was to a James Oki.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, have you heard of that name? Supposedly he works for Jahare.
I used to keep deep records of these when they send love letters.
And Rhonda, she told us she was aware of scammers using their service to ship goods.
But there's like somebody that was supposed to receive the goods in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
So they contacted you guys, was like, look, we'll pay the shipping to receive these goods, the iPhone. And so that's what we're hoping to get.
We were given legal expert advice. You just return it.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to get involved
Yeah.
because who wants to be told they're being scammed, right? Because they're
Yeah.
really in love.
Yeah.
This
Me.
is true, really, really.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'd want to be told if I'm being scammed. So, again, nothing malicious in what she's saying, really, I guess. But I'd like to hope people would want to be told that they're being scammed. But I guess the amount of people on here that got their heads shoved so far up their own ass, it kind of makes sense that apparently no one wants to be told.
When we see that we're shipping to a name that is not the name of Dear David or Dear John or Dear, we don't send it.
Well, so you guys are actually gonna send this one. That's the thing.
So I took the phone out and I shared all the messages you had sent us to show her that you were communicating with someone from the company. We then looked at the phone number and noticed it was the same exact number listed on Google search and on their website. This is Jahare Express. We got a package from you with tracking number. Please let us know if you have the authorization to ship the packages to the final receiver.
Okay, so here, right here. This is the legal jargon. Please let us know if you have the authorization to ship the packages to the final. So this is from Jahare Express. Ship the packages to the final receiver.
Yeah.
Not hear from you within 3 days. The packages will
Be shipped out.
I bet you it will not be shipped out.
So essentially we found out that it's a shipping company that sends stuff to Nigeria.
If they're sending, they're doing it without our knowledge.
Oh, okay.
We stopped this because of the scams.
Oh.
You can't trust anybody. Yeah, I had to send like 20 return to senders back in a week.
Oh, shoot.
But who would have access? I have a PO
Yeah,
box,
so-
right? And I'm the only one that has a key to my PO box.
I was his wife,
Yeah.
so it was just my husband and myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Ex-husband now.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
remarried. Yeah, I'm remarried now. He owns it,
Wait, what?
but I was like,
Wait, did she say we remarried? I'm confused.
secretary.
Ah, gotcha.
And I kept real good detail records. Anytime something like this would happen, we would return to sender.
Got you.
I've asked him if we could call these people because sometimes their number is on there, but he says, the lawyer says we are not allowed to get personally involved because people will fight back with you.
Here's what we're trying to do. Like, I work with the EFCC in Nigeria. I know the police captain there. Like, I was in Dubai meeting with him for cases. There's the guy that was expecting the phone to be shipped, right? So he must have contacted the company somehow, in some way. And so what we're trying to do is like figure out who this guy is. You know, this guy that's trying to get this phone from you guys, right? Because what would have happened is he would have come to you guys and said, hey, look, I have this shipment that's coming. I'll pay for the shipment. You said, yeah, no problem, right? Like, I'm sure you guys do normal stuff all the time. I know how expensive electronics and all the other things are in Nigeria. So it's probably very standard for you guys to be shipping this stuff over there, especially for people that do import, export type stuff.
We stopped doing it for personal people though. Now you have to go to his friend that owns the company, the cell phone store.
Oh, okay.
There for a while it was his brother, but his brother now is in Canada.
You won't believe this, they also own a phone store in Nigeria that sells phones. So, which we thought was weird because you were sending a phone through them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you know the business, the cell phone business there or no?
The one that he had there was with his brother and another guy. That guy died of a brain aneurysm, and then his brother went to Canada.
But he still has the business because,
because
as of 2 months ago, they were.
Sorry again to be maybe too cynical, but was there really need to say how the guy died? Now, I've seen, for example, on this show in particular, other videos where people who are explaining something, or maybe they get a whiff that they might somehow be involved and trying to allegedly cover their tracks, they start adding extra details that are just not necessary. What was the need to mention how he died? I feel like she's longing it out, maybe buying some time, allegedly, of course, but maybe I'm just being too cynical.
Still shipping.
And
They're
I
still
guess,
shipping, so maybe he found, and I mean, like I said, he's from there. He knows so many people.
Yeah, 100%. I get it.
Yeah. And he's,
What was the name of the business that was there before, the cell phone business?
I don't know.
You guys did business with him. You don't remember
Yeah,
the
Well,
name?
come on.
what I did was
It was
I
your
would
brother-in-law.
get everything, I would repackage everything, and then he would send it through Delta Airlines.
But I mean, you must have packaged like tons and tons of packages and sent it there, right? So you don't remember the name of the cell phone business?
That was his. He
But you
did that.
packaged it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I packaged it, but he labeled everything because it didn't get sent to per se a company. We would send it through Delta Airlines. That guy would go to Delta Airlines and pick up the cargo. So,
Okay.
You know, I think it's interesting, the language shift. Sometimes she'll use we, but then sometimes that guy, them, he. Like, you're absolving yourself in certain scenarios and then shifting blame on others in other situations.
Allegedly.
Look, if you're packing things and you're kind of involved in the business because you're packing, you're helping out, right? You're telling me you don't know your husband at that time business name? It's a bit shifty, you know what I mean? Allegedly, though.
So we heard some contradicting stories where like the ex-wife said, hey, we didn't know that they were still in business. Do you have his
And then
your
I
ex's number that we could call?
I mean, if you want, I can have him call here because I know he would probably, if he hears something like that, he'll contact his lawyer. I was surprised he said he's coming to Florida tomorrow.
We'll actually be here
We're
tomorrow.
going to be here,
We're
so
flying out
we
at
can
7:55.
meet with him.
Oh, you guys came in here just to meet with him?
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
nice.
And then I'm sure he'll want to fix the situation.
So here's the
I don't care what she's saying, but do you guys see in the middle of the screen there? Look at the cat. Look at the cat. He's stretching. Look. Yo! Look at that. Whoop! Shake that booty. Shake that booty. Anyway, I find it very interesting now, the tone shift. She's become a lot more nervous, we'll say.
Allegedly.
I'm wary, you know?
It's the situation.
So here's the thing too, like we're gonna publish this video, and like I want to do the best job that we can when we publish it, like, and we're not trying to like pin things on him. The thing is, the cell phone just went to him, right? So all we're trying to do is say, hey, look, this is where it went, this is where the money went, this is where things are going,
and clear his name.
Yeah, like so like, and he can look up our YouTube, like he sees exactly what we do every single day. Like we truly care about people, we truly care about this. We know that people get involved for the wrong reason.
I guarantee, I'm 99% sure he will, I'm 99.99, he'll meet with you because he is 100% legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like I went to Nigeria, I stayed there 4 or 5 months, and we got married there.
Gotcha.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I came back and then waited 2 years, and then I brought him here.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Because we both had lots. He had to do his Army Corps thing. And,
Right.
Okay.
and that's the thing. He didn't have to do it. He chose to stay and do the 1 year of Army Corps because he wanted to serve his country.
No, I don't think anybody asked, realistically. I think you're doing now too much here to try and paint him in a positive light.
Allegedly.
He wanted to help his country. Yeah, but what's that got to do with what we're talking about, bro? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe, again, I'm being too cynical here, and I'm just shitting all over her bonfire, but I feel like she's doing too much now, right? The composure is gone now.
All right.
So, yeah, and then we were married 10 years, so we were together 12. He's a good man.
Okay.
Good Christian, good man. Like I said, anything like this that happens,
Yeah. But if you could just have him contact us, like I said, we'll be here.
Once again, sorry again. I'm pissing a lot now in the wind here. It's going everywhere, baby. He's a good Christian man. Woman, what are you doing? Like, nobody asked. Why bring his religion into this? She's sort of attached Christian with good. He's Christian. He's a good Christian man. So he wouldn't do anything like this. Oh, because religious people in the world, you know, they don't do anything, do they? Come on. You're doing too much here.
Allegedly.
By the way, before anyone twists my words, I would hope everyone knows this about me, but I'm not attributing religious people to bad things, right? But there are religious people who do bad things, but that doesn't mean the entire religion is bad. But in this case, I find it very interesting she's brought up the fact that he's a good Christian man doing way too much.
Allegedly.
Maybe I'm doing way too much in explaining this, but you get the point.
And, yeah, so, cool?
yeah,
Nice wrapping up.
definitely. Yeah, no, I'm glad you reached out to us because I didn't know this stuff was still going on. But
Yeah.
It's always going on. You know, it's not your fault or anybody's
Yeah.
fault, but,
oh
you know,
no, I
we're just
mean,
trying
I
to make
didn't
a
even know
difference.
Jahari Express was still shipping.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
After we spoke to Kunle's ex-wife, we got back to the hotel, and then he called David as soon as we got there.
Thanks for calling me back. Are you in Orlando or no?
Yeah, I'm in Orlando, but I'm actually, my ex told me that you guys came to the house and she sent your cards and you guys are actually investigating. Okay, yeah, sure. Like, whatever I can do to help. But I don't want to be on video.
Okay.
That's cool.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
I would do everything I can to help you out. I mean, we have to go to the police. I'm okay with whatever.
Cool. What time? Yeah, what time?
I'm gonna be around that area, probably around about 8-ish, 9.
Perfect.
If that works.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a call when I'm around there.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, and I appreciate you looking into this for us.
I mean, any way I can help, man. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
All right, yeah, bye.
All right.
Kunle agreed to meet us, so we arranged to meet him at a nearby hotel.
We got really lucky because he actually was flying in that night, and we were able to meet with him the next day in person.
So we asked initially if we could video record, and he didn't feel comfortable, so he allowed us to voice record.
Great job you guys do, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Realistically, I'm just after like the people that are stealing money. That's it. You know, so we're here in Florida. We have 3 cases we're working on. This is one of them. I mean, I know you're a businessman. You've come. You've made a life for yourself, and like just like our business, like we're a data company. There's people that use our data for bad, and there's people that use it for good, right? And we try to do everything we can to eliminate the bad people that use the service for bad, and then try to only have that. What I want to try to do though is figure out like who that phone was supposed to go to.
Yeah.
And so I know that last night when we talked, you were going to follow up to see like if your contact knew.
Actually, I did just for the sake of it. But again, I've been doing this. I started my business back in like 19.
Yeah.
Nobody asked.
All we do is we're more like a parcel receiving company.
Do you see? Again, I sound like a broken record here. I sound like a parrot. Kind of wish I could fly away right now, though. Just in the sky. Just free. With the wind. What the hell am I talking about? But what does it matter when you started? You know? But
Are you high or just incredibly stupid?
So again, we're here in the States and we get packages from different people. We pick up locally, customers, and box it up together as one big shipment. They call it consolidation. Consolidate it and we send it out. So basically, whatever item that comes to us from like people within the US, especially people that we don't know, which is like it could be anybody, right? When those items come, you know, when I first started, again, it's a tough road. Nobody's gonna show you.
Mate,
you gotta learn the hard way, right?
100%, yeah.
You know, same packages, you get calls from people, you know, complaining about, oh yeah, I want my item back and all of that. Well, you sent it to us. You don't know me from nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, so over time we got to realize, okay, well, people are gonna take advantage of this, right? So I'm actually just glad that it's one of those ones that we actually cut. Because I see that.
But I don't think you cut it. So like what had happened is she reached out to you guys because she suspected that it was fraudulent. So I saw the text messages.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like you guys were still going to ship it out. And then you said, hey, if we don't hear back from you, we're going to ship it out in 3 days.
So that's what we do right now. Like again, because there's so much that we can't hold on to, right?
Yeah.
Like we have a storage system where we can't just keep packages there. If we keep doing that, it's going to like flood it, right?
Yeah.
So I can't. Listen, I understand that. Like the storage space gets filled up or whatever, right? But then wouldn't you just ship the phone back to her then? And not actually, hey, we've received a message that you might think it's fraudulent, etc. But guess what? We're still going to ship it to that person. And if they are fraudulent, doesn't matter. They've got their phone now. Am I right in assuming that's the case here? Because that doesn't make sense then, on a business perspective. You're following through with potential fraudulent activity.
Allegedly.
I can't tell you how many times, like, okay, we see this text, go back and forth, and I call like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, okay. Again, I speak to them like every time, like, let's talk.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the package is supposed to go to Bulgaria. He's in the army. I'm like, it don't sound right. This stuff is going to Africa.
Yeah.
And that's the destination that I know. Once it gets to Africa and they pick it up, whoever picks it up, I don't know what happens from there.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to send an item to California. You live in the US. Why are they having you send it here first?
Exactly, yeah.
And then you get different stories of like, it's not even only romance. You got like so many different stories. You don't even want to start.
So you ship the stuff to like a facility in Nigeria?
No, so I have an agent. It's more like, again, he used to be the guy that I used to work with before I left.
Gotcha.
He was in the Kenya. It's called Computer Village. So we sell phones and laptops. And I still got a lot of guys there. They do again, that's their everyday life. They buy and sell gadgets, phones. We have a store. So we actually just opened a new one. We have a store on the islands. We have a store in the Kenya, which is on the mainland. And we have other guys that do that. So whenever the item gets shipped out, I have a store in Lagos myself. Right? So it gets shipped out to my store. And I work with only 4 guys specifically.
Is that where you ship everything to?
To my store.
Yeah,
yes.
Everything ships to your store.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then I have these 4 guys I work with specifically. Those are like my point of contact, direct contact. And then they have like customers. Because again, I'm like, if I stay here and I'm trying to get all of those IDs and all of that, I'm just going to be lying to myself. And then we have somebody that, okay, you are the point of contact here. If this package is picked up, if I need the information about this package, I actually have a package right now that got there 2 days ago. And it's back in my store because the lady was like, oh yeah, she was scammed. Like, yeah, cool. We got it. We got your item and it's coming back. I'm not gonna pay for the return.
Yeah.
You sent it.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, hold on to it. And then next week or so when I get paid, I'll pay for the return. It's just $45. It's as clear as it can be, and I don't know how else to explain this.
It's
But I really
just
could help out with this
45,
specific case. Yeah. But unfortunately, we did not give the person the phone. So.
But somebody had to have come to you guys and requested it. That's what I'm saying. So even if you didn't get an ID, right?
They didn't get the ID because they didn't come to this. So again, so
what I'm getting at, somebody at some point emailed, texted, talked to you guys.
They
right?
texted, yes.
Yeah. So you have that number, right?
I can ask him for the number.
Yeah.
But
What do you
again,
mean?
like I told you, literally, I can show you right now. My apps are not even on my phone personally.
What do you mean you can ask the person for their number? If you're able to text someone, you have their number, so show David the number. It's fishy. Oh, where am I? Fishmongers? Allegedly, though.
Look at this Bible right now. It's not gonna download because the original Apple ID was not what. It's not gonna download.
Yeah.
What's he on
There
about?
was a contact at some point, and then maybe this person has come multiple times to you, or maybe other people, because this person knew where exactly to go for shipping, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Again, that's something that happens a lot
all the time
in the market. Market, we got. I'm not the only one that shipped. We got addresses. We got people that I just shipped for like a whole year.
Yeah.
Because I had to ship with the U.S. Customs.
Yeah.
Since that shipment back in 23, it was my game. First experience. I was supposed to keep working, but I stopped working because I was just like worried, scared, like I have shipment worth this amount of money. I gotta pay all these guys.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like tapped out, chickened out, but then I had to come back. So there's a lot of addresses.
Yeah.
And if we don't work for them, guess what? They go to the next guy, right? Because again, everybody has their rules.
Yeah.
I've been through this, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna call whoever this is that sent this item if I have to call them. And when they ask me where your item is going, it's going to Nigeria, it's going to Africa. You gotta understand that. You cannot deal with that. So for this one, I can ask my guy. I'm not sure if he has the contact. I will definitely. But I already asked him. He's like, well, we returned it, and you already know the person does not have any information.
We're getting the EFCC involved in this, right?
That's fine.
And so what I want to try to do is see if we can get some sort of contact information of the person that had initially contacted you guys for this.
Yeah, let me just, I don't know, I think I tried calling earlier, he didn't even pick up.
Okay.
So
I'm going
you
to
have
text
his
him and
number?
see if he has that information. You trust me, I'll give it to you. There's no reason why I won't give it to you.
I don't get
If
it.
it's accurate, it's not accurate, whatever. Like, I know you didn't get an ID, so like it could change. Like, we've dealt with shipment stuff, in Nigeria.
Just tell you straight up, like, when it comes, and the reason why I'm not, it's not like I'm not being, again, I'm here. I'm not being nonchalant about it. It's Nigeria, man. Like, even that phone number may not even be real.
What's the name of your shop in Nigeria?
Same company, Jerry Express.
Oh, J. Okay.
So, with the shipments, do you guys ever block the recipient, the person that's requesting these? Because when I spoke to Marilee,
The recipient?
yes. So when I spoke to Marilee yesterday, she said that there are several packages that you guys have received, and she spoke to the lawyer, and the lawyer came up with the process that if someone's reaching out and they're involved in some sort of scam, you guys return it. But do you guys ever block the actual person that's requesting through your services?
So with that, yes.
I'll let you get going on your way. I
right.
freaking love that shirt, by the way. Yeah.
What just happened
On
there?
the way to Europe. You guys, you have to do a great job, man.
Hold on a second. I'm not sure what's happened there. Brianna asked the question. He was starting to answer it, I guess. And then David said, oh, we'll let you get going. I like your shirt. What just happened there? I'm gonna chalk that up as some sort of mistake in editing, because I don't think that's a natural flow of a conversation. But, okay, really confused.
Like, whenever, just give me a call.
Yeah.
Whenever you do even aside from this,
Yeah.
enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
All right, man, y'all be good.
All right, you guys take it easy. Yeah, have a good one. Yeah.
What just happened here?
We don't know if Jahari Express is a good or bad company. We're still going to get to the bottom of it because that's what we do. So we'll have some answers for you in the next few days on what they will do as a company and won't do, what their policies are. Let's see if they align with what Kunle and his ex-wife had told us. Well, we have some information about the guy in the pictures.
Okay.
This is very interesting because sometimes this result happens. So we had been searching for his images, I don't know how long. And we have not been able to find his true identity.
Same way with me. I couldn't
Maybe
find
he just
his
deleted
picture
his profiles.
anywhere. I came to a dead end every single time.
With that being said, so me and David had used several reverse image search tools. We basically ran every single image he sent over to us, and we could not find a match for this person.
Several? Are you telling me you used something other than your tools? Oh my goodness.
However, there's a picture of him with another man. There's a cross behind them. And so I was able to validate his identity. And so he's a pastor of a church in Kentucky, which means this person, the profile that you've been talking to, this man had been in Kentucky at some point.
The guy you're talking to right now has never lived or doesn't live in Kentucky. You're not talking to like the real guy, which that's essentially what we're alluding to.
Okay, interesting, because he would always send these religious type quotes all the time.
A lot of scammers use religion a lot, you know, and they send like biblical quotes. It's something we see that's like very common. What we're getting to is that this is a scam, like you're being scammed.
Okay.
And so this person's trying to steal money from you. They're trying to get obviously an iPhone from you. They're using somebody else's pictures to talk to you. And so the person that you're talking to right now is not the person in the pictures.
That's the only thing that throws me off, because we had 2 Skype calls.
Did the camera angle just get lower? Pick up the camera, Rhonda, please. I don't know how it got lower.
Why don't you ask him to see if he'd be willing to video chat? Let's get that, and then we'll also do an IP tracker to see where in the world this person is. How's that?
That sounds great.
And then once you have that, you'll know where in the world this person is.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate this so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so you already have a decent amount of information, but over the next few days, you'll have the rest of the clarity you need.
Yeah, I'm ready to be done with this. You know, I'm ready to have some answers and just be able to be done with this.
All right, well, we'll be in touch. Thank you for trusting us to do this, Rhonda.
You're so welcome. Bye.
Bye, Rhonda, man.
Seekers, this story is far from over.
Good vibes.
We needed to dig even deeper into Jahari Express, so we reached out to one of our friends in Nigeria to visit the store that Kunle said he owned.
What's the name of your shop in Nigeria?
Same company, Jahari Express.
Oh, J.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a few days, our friend Chris in Nigeria had some updates for us.
Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Thank you so much for going.
Sorry, this is completely irrelevant, but on your left-hand side, right, there's a can of drink in a sleeve. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. So, any companies that do that, sponsor me. I'll take it, please. That's cool. I don't know what realistically it's useful for. Maybe keeping it cold or something, but it's cool.
Thank you so much for going to the store for us. I just wanted to ask you a few follow-up questions about what you saw in there.
There are 2 offices, and they use one for shipping. They use the other one for their cell phone company. And when I got there, I met a guy named Lekon. And when I talked to him, I told him I have some phones coming from the States, and I would like to use his delivery company for that. He said, well, that's okay. I told him, would I need to bring any type of ID card to verify my identity whenever? He said, no. I told him, the phones are actually not mine, and I'm not buying them. The phones are coming from a client. That's the name we call victims, like clients.
I see.
That's what all scammers call their victims. They call white people clients.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, all right, he understands. And I tell him, I don't want to use the phones. I want to sell them to you. Then he said, that's probably cool. They do that. It's something they do all the time. And he said, the victim doesn't need to know my name or who is getting the phone. Like, everything is gonna be covered up. Like, I have nothing to worry about.
Wow.
Like, and then I went to their other office, Gadgets Nigeria. I told him, Lekon, the guy I met at the shipping office, directed me to this address, and he says you guys work together, and it's like two companies under the same person. Then he said yes, and I told him I would like to ship some phones, and I want to sell to him.
Where are you going to be sending the blah blah blah? I said, this store. Yes, you can see. I want you to confirm. No problem. No problem.
He told me the phones are coming to this address. They're gonna sell it there, and they're gonna pay me my money.
So he knows that you could be using the phones to scam people, correct?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Chris. And if we have any questions, we'll reach out to you.
After learning more about Chris's experience in Nigeria, we decided to call Kunle to let him know about our interaction with one of his employees.
But she was already talking to someone then.
Hi, Kunle. This is Brienne. Me and my husband met you when we were visiting in Orlando a few weeks ago.
Yeah, how you doing?
We have a connection in Nigeria that had visited Jari Express. He went in and asked if he could retrieve phones from clients from the United States. They said that's no problem. They had an understanding that it is for a scam and they were okay with it. And they also said there was another company where he could take the phone and sell it.
What store did they go to?
So he went to Jari Express and they told him that he could sell the phone to Gadget Nigeria. The man that he spoke to there, I believe his name is Lekon?
Lekon, okay, yes, I know who that is actually.
Okay, so Lekon told him that he could have the phones shipped to Jari Express and take the phones and sell them to Gadget Nigeria.
We own Gadget Nigeria. Remember I told you myself and my colleague actually sell phones?
Oh, okay, I see.
So yes, my colleague does know that person, but there's no way. He actually just left today.
My colleague knows that person. You said that you know that person. It's again similar to the ex-wife in that certain situations it's a we thing, then others I'm passing the blame to someone else. I'm not saying again 100%. It's all allegedly. It's just interesting to pick up.
I'm going to call Lekon right now as soon as you are done for sure. And I'm going to verify why he's giving that information out. Because if that is the case, then I think this is actually even nicer than I expected.
The person that we had that's helping us out, our contact in Nigeria, spoke to Lekon and told him that I have some clients in the United States and they're going to be sending me some phones. Is this going to be a problem? They said not a problem at all. You can have them shipped here. You can even, buy, sell to our other company that is owned by the same owner, Gadgets Nigeria, and we can take care of it there.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is really freaking wild. Never would I want to get involved with those kind of situations.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I can provide invoices to you of all the items that we buy from here. So,
yeah,
that's wild.
Why is someone that's working for your company agreeing to do these things?
I really cannot. I swear to God, I cannot even tell you. This is actually surprising.
Yeah.
And I'm actually even glad that we are here.
Okay, thank you so much, Kunle. I appreciate your time.
Next day, Kunle called David to talk.
Right now, I don't know. Again, it's sad to hear this because again, I'm here. I told him, I'm like, look, you're fired. He's not even gonna be there tomorrow working for me because he cannot be jeopardizing my own business like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know exactly. Sometimes, again, I do my best over here to protect what I can protect, and I do my best for them over there to oversee and do what they have to do.
So, I mean, I guess what response do you want us to put in the video? Because, it doesn't sound good.
What response what do you want me to say in the video?
Whoa, relax. Look at David's face there. He's drinking that cup as well, which the other David was also drinking from the cup. So just all Davids potentially watching this right now Get a mug, drink it, sip that tea, baby. I'll drop the tea on you. He's pressed. Calm down. Why are you so angry right now? Why did you flip a switch, bro? What do you want me to say in the video? Big man, none of this looks good, all right? As much as I want to throw allegedly in there, etc., people watching this are going to make up their own minds, and in their own minds, they might also think, hey, this don't look good, right? Allegedly. He's flipped us, so calm down. Why are you so pressed? And again, who knows if he's actually fired that guy? We're not there. Do you know what I mean?
Want me to say? I guess your guy reported him too, and probably he didn't even know that you were. I don't know. Again, whatever you have to do, just do what you have to do.
Whoa!
And if an investigation does come out, I'm sure I can prove what I have to do.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I can't stop you from doing what you have to do.
Listen to how he's speaking now. Obviously, very defensive, and he was kind of defensive in the beginning when they met at that hotel. But look at the difference in tone, language, expression. Calm down, man. Nobody said you 100% did something right now. Why you flipping a switch? Oh.
And like I said, this person, I'm just glad that whatever it is that did happen, with whoever it is that this person is, I'm just glad that the package was returned to the person, and it's not one, it's not two, it's not three. Just like I said, just today, I have a message on people that, again, it happens. We have these loopholes here and there, and we try to plug it.
A few hours later, Kunle sent us a termination letter to show that he had fired the man who was willing to accept victims' phones. Again, devil's advocate. You could have just wrote a letter, bro. I don't really... okay, sure, because I should believe this. Well, no real conclusion, I guess. Oh, is that different? That might be different. Might be a new AI thing. So they do use AI sometimes to enhance images. I guess I understand that. But the images for David, for example, went from non-smiling to smiling. I feel like that's different than enhancing the image quality, but let me know your thoughts.
Seekers, it's almost time for our weekly live stream. You can find a link to our live stream on our YouTube channel by clicking the live tab and going to our most recent video.
Go do that. Go support, of course, as always. Support this channel as well, please. Really, please, just do it. My final thoughts before the tantalizing talk section, of course, which probably will be recorded at another time than this current one, because my booty is symbiotic with the chair right now. It's very hot. I can't sit here much longer, to be honest, especially with the lights on me right now. You didn't ask. My final thoughts, which again you didn't ask, but I'll give them. Rhonda's a cool woman, you know what I mean? Refreshing to have someone who's not a shitbag. So that's great. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel here when a victim is not a shitbag. But you take the small wins where you can. Let that be a life lesson as well. Give yourself kudos. You do something that's not bloody crazy big to the outside world, but it could mean very much to you. Celebrate your wins. The language that was used in certain scenarios to absolve blame or to make themselves seem in a better light by both Mary Lee and Kunle
Allegedly.
are interesting to notice. Doesn't mean that they're 100% involved in whatever it is that is being alleged, but it's just interesting to note from the perspective of a viewer. Was that guy fired? Ain't got a Scooby. Could you have sent the contact back there to check if he was fired. Maybe there's a follow-up to this story, hopefully in the future. But at the end of this, I think, in my personal opinion, that the scammer, whoever it is still doing what they're doing. I don't think there was any stopping of it here. So let me know your thoughts as of right now. Of course, as usual, I'll go to the original video, pick some comments out, see what people are saying, dive headfirst into them. Whoop. Don't take that as a dirty action. There's no euphemism there. Okay? So I don't know why I did that with my tongue. Shut the hell up right now. I'll see you in a jiffy. Tantalizing talk time. At the time of recording this, it's the next day of recording, and it's 9:30 p.m. Why have I left it so late? I ain't got a Scooby. But if you do know, recently I've been having some troubles with the teeth, and the teeth has been kicking the shit out of me. So thanks for that, teeth. And also, nobody comment about the hair. I do not understand why it's doing what it's doing. The quiff is quiffing, we'll say. And also, if you're wondering what this pajama top is, it's new. It's Mickey Mouse, and it says not today. Because Mickey is a mouse, I'm a rat, so like that's, I guess, kind of similar in some way. But like not today, because like this whole week I've just been not today. Please, no. So apologies for not being as active, I guess, this week on the channel. That's if this video you are seeing is on the same week of it being originally released. Nobody asked to see the shirt. We'll get right in to the tantalizing talk. Firstly, I don't often feel bad for these people, but this woman seems like a nice person. I think I mentioned it in the main commentary. By no means is she a sack of doo-doo like a lot of the other people. But you'd have to be an absolute menace to society if I think you are a sack of doo-doo in comparison to the rest of the people that appear on this show. So, well done. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're not a bigot. So you're a nice person on this show automatically. Now, although I think she is a nice person, there are obvious wrongdoings of hers that could have perhaps prevented her being in such a situation, such as watching out for the bombardments of love bombing from the oh-so sea pirates. Right from the get-go, that's always a red flag. Of course, hey, to be honest, if anyone ever tells you that they work on an oil rig, it could be legit. They could take you on a date to that very same oil rig where all the workers know their name. I'm still not gonna believe you. Don't believe them. Just don't. Even if you're on the oil rig, don't do it. But tangent, has anyone ever played Still Wakes the Deep? I can't remember if that's an oil rig or not. What a game that is. Completely irrelevant. But this comment mentions, and this is also one of the things that, although I think she's a nice person, she needs to cut this BS out of it, alright? She flashed a stranger to make sure he was real. The level of stupidity is overwhelming. My goodness me, I don't think it's without question to say, please don't be showing your intimate bits to people online, let alone people online you don't know if they're real. Okay, now ultimately you're gonna do what you're gonna do. That's on you. I just think, and maybe recommend, that you don't really know this person, right? So you don't want to end up in a situation where perhaps you're being blackmailed or something. So keep your bits on the bits. Keep the bits in the orange juice. Don't take them out. You're the orange juice in the analogy here. You get my point. We have Amber here who says she wasn't contradicting. You don't let her talk. I assume she means the ex-wife of Kunle here. I assume that's who you're referring to. Necessarily, I don't think that they did not let her talk. I think she had very much a lot of opportunity to speak, but that could just be me. Now, am I in the position to say she's contradicting or not? Because I don't know the facts. It's all allegedly, right? We all like to have fun here. Although, there are certain points, and I pointed out during the main commentary as well, the language that she chooses in certain situations, it's giving contradictory.
Allegedly.
But that's just me. It's all allegedly, of course. Not today. Not today, Satan. You can't get me. Who is Satan in this instance? I don't know. The sea pirates? Maybe. The good old Polish sea pirates that, I guess, monitor oil rigs or traverse them. What the hell is the word I'm trying... Patrol, I guess? Them ones. The all too famous oil rig patrolling Polish sea pirates. Oh, this tantalizing talk maybe is the most shambolic. Next up, John is asking a very good question. And we've seen recently the shark-infested waters of an oil rig. If you remember that episode where my booty came out of its location because of shark repellent stuff. What? No shark repellent? That's a great question, John. But we have to remember we're not dealing with sharks here. We're dealing with sea pirates. And if the sea pirates have sharks that are pirates as pets, sea shark pirate pets, then these sea pirates are not to be messed with. So you can dish out as much.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm leaving this part in the edit. Stay hydrated, everyone. My dentist said keep hydrated. ASMR for your ears, because, I mean, mine have been hurting recently as well. And nobody asked this, but last night at the time of recording, I was retching my guts out and nothing was coming out. Anyone want to explain how that works? Pesky antibiotics. But no, there's no shark repellent that can help you against sea shark pirate pets. Does that answer your question, John? Amanda here raises a good point, but let's touch on some things, shall we? I'm sorry, but David looked like he was working at Shoe Locker. I'd rather use evil competitor of Baskin Robbins, but I see the Foot Locker vibes. But Amanda's called it Shoe Locker, so maybe we've got the evil competitors of Foot Locker. You thought you could just open up another locker and just chuck shoe in front of it, because shoes go on foots. I see what you did there, Amanda. Is the evil version of Foot Locker and the evil version of Baskin Robbins combined. Honestly, that's a pop-up store that I'd very much like to visit. You go in there trying to buy some shoes, you get ice cream. It's a win-win for everyone. But genuinely though, if he was wearing like an actual referee shirt, I get it. Shout out everyone who works in retail in general, because gosh, in the heat that I was going to say London, but UK in general, I guess, is experiencing, I can't imagine. The retail store that I used to work in didn't even have fans, bro. Or they did had fans. They did had fans? English. They did have fans, but like they had to wheel them in. Guys, we've got big bucks being made here. We can't spring for some air conditioning. But many UK homes actually don't have unlike American homes. But this is getting off topic. But we're talking about shoe locker, so how much more off topic really can this get? Now, this next comment raises some questions. Let's talk about it, shall we? Mention the IP tracker twice, yet didn't do it, and no reverse image search on images to find out whose identity he has stolen to scam her. What are you about? That's intriguing. I'd like to ask you that. What have you got cooking up in your mind, basically? The reverse image search part, I mean, they did do that. I'm not sure, maybe you missed out on that. It just didn't come up with much or anything, if I remember correctly. Maybe the guy in question, whose pictures they actually are, doesn't really have a profile online. But they did find an image of him with a pastor, if I recall, from a church. So there's that. They did reverse image search, but obviously didn't have the best of lucks. The IP tracker, honestly, if I didn't read this comment, I forgot about the IP tracker. Like, I'm dealing with so much right now. I forgot they didn't do that. Or maybe they did, and I just missed it. Maybe we missed it, Mr. A. Ducky. Scrooge McDuck, you could say? You couldn't say that, because where's the relevance there? But did they do it? Let me know in the comments. I didn't check out the live stream. Obviously, I'm in bed, losing myself. So did they? Let me know. Now, before we head into the final tantalizing talk comment, I do want to mention that I saw a lot of comments, obviously, touching on the whole pirate talk. Now, as much as I have made jokes in quotations, because if you find them funny or not, that would class them as a joke or not, that's up to you. But as much as I did, poke fun at the pirate stuff, again, I think I did mention in the commentary that they do bloody exist, right? And there were a few comments, again, reiterating that they do exist, because the team themselves, I think, also kind of swept it under the rug. I mean, look, in the grand scheme of this particular story, it is a bit far-fetched. But pirates are actually a real thing in today's age, and for however many years. Like, there are naughty individuals out there on the sea, right? So it's not entirely far-fetched that you could be attacked by pirates, but ones that intercept iPhones for Polish oil rigs, I don't think so. But the last comment from Mildred, a member of the TT, shout out Mildred. He works in the oil rig but can't get his own phone. He doesn't have family that can buy a phone for him. When are people going to use logic and not fall for this nonsense? I don't think logic exists in a lot of people, to be honest, especially on this show. That's pretty much a given 99% of the time. But I think people either do recognize that they are doing really stupid things, and in the name of, I'll give it a try because you never know, I guess, they will fall for it or allow themselves to be fooled for it, which is not real words, but you get it. Or genuinely, the people we walk amongst society, we gotta start doing like side eyes, like, could you be scammed? What about you over there? That will not really determine anything, but it is concerning at the sheer number of people that fall for the sheer ridiculousness of some stories. Now, of course, the red flags here, he can't buy his own phone. We've seen many stories, people just can't afford anything despite having a job. For some reason, people also seem to run out of other individuals in their life that can support them. Because I always ask this question, and I'm still yet to have it answered. What happens to these people if they don't find the victim? What happens? Do the pirates get him If he doesn't find... What was her name again? Rhonda? If he doesn't find Rhonda, do the pirates get him? Does he never get a new phone? What happens? Okay. Thankfully, I'm going to call it there, actually, because that's too much talking for this particular moment. But I am, at least I think I am anyway, hopefully getting better. Thank God. So, shout out everyone for your love and support. Again, apologies if you've made it this far in the video and you're seeing this, but I've probably left a pinned comment about it as well. Apologies for not being as active and replying to people in the comments and stuff. I appreciate all your support. I just haven't been able to sit there and actually look at the stuff, but I figured someone is calling me. Oh, and it's telling me on the laptop as well. It's going crazy right now. It is, because it's nearly 10 p.m. Who's calling me? It's the pirates. No, but seriously, if this video doesn't get uploaded, then consider that I've potentially been attacked by pirates. They've edited the video and they've uploaded it, so call the police. I'll see you guys next time. Again, apologies. Thank you for all the support. I'll see you next time. Bye. Pirates.